Hello everybody and welcome to video 2 of the LGT UKTC deployment tips series. Don't need to spend too long here, we're going to jump straight onto TTS and have a look at the deployment. Just once again, thank you for viewing, and please do like and subscribe if you're enjoying the comment. Let me know if you are utilising any of these deployment tips in your games. I had a game last night which I will be putting a back rep up. I did record some videos for that, so yeah, look out for that one, and then hope you enjoy this. See you soon. Here we are with round 2, and it is the Crucible of Battle layout, and that is the corner deployment to the centre, so that the ones diagonally across the board. It is the largest no man's land to cross. I think it's 24 inches if you go like sort of directly to the opponent's deployment zone, and that leaves quite a large space. There's lots of shooting angles all the way across the map, as you can see sort of there, and then one sort of down the middle. So shooting armies are quite good here, but there is a giant, they've got sort of like a super rune in the middle, which a lot of melee armies would love to sort of stage their big killer units behind, and then the little under 2 inches rune as well, which is obscuring. So there's a nice big center point, which a lot of armies do sort of stage behind, but then as soon as you're out on the objectives on the side, the top and bottom of the map, you are quite exposed. So there's a lot of places that you want to try and hold down if you can, and there are some good things to do with the poxwalkers here on the map, but unfortunately round 2 is Purge the Foe, and as annoying as poxwalkers are, they will go down quite easily if the opponent wants to, and obviously trying to get a 4 points on the board for a kill or a kill more. If poxwalkers are out in the open, then you're going to give up a free kill and probably kill more. So you are limited with your infiltration units, and here, just because of, as I say, to Purge the Foe, the mechanics of the primary. Round 4 is now the same layout. It used to be Dawn of War, but after feedback, UKTC changed it now. So round 4 is the same map, and it is Linchpin instead. So on round 4, we will have a different sort of deployment tips there, because we can utilise the infiltration ability of the poxwalkers a bit more. So yeah, first off, we have the poxwalkers, and again, depending on if your opponent has any infiltrate, will be which you need to play first. But if they do, the poxwalkers here are probably going to be my first drop. It gives me control of the center of the map, because obviously 9 inches here means that they can't realistically deploy anything too dangerous down here. And if you, the aim of these poxwalkers here is to be monitoring this wall. Obviously, you don't want to give, as I say, something an easy charge, and if you are within an inch, then they'll be able to stay on that side of the wall and consolidate backwards. So you want to make it so that they can't easily do that. So they're 1 inch in the wall, and then you can see we're taking up quite a lot of space with this unit. We've got the 9 inches here, so they can still infiltrate in here, which is an option, but I don't think it's a particularly great one. And as I say, we are in the middle. We can use this unit as a move block by moving out, same as we did last time. And one of the key things is, same as before, we are in that area denial spot. So if the opponent is all the way over here, and even if they do have a fast moving unit to be able to get and touch in within the 3 inches, are they going to do that for just 2 points? Because it's very unlikely that they're going to be able to kill the poxwalkers here. So just having these laid out in this sort of position here means they're very likely to get charged turn 1. You're denying area denial, but you also, if you draw area denial and they're not doing something similar on their side, you're easily scoring area denial with a poxwalker unit. And again, with all the other secondary objectives, you're easily scoring cleanse on this objective. You're easily scoring extend battle lines or an area down and everything like that. So this is a really useful drop to have with the poxwalkers. They're pretty safe considering the mission type, but yeah, it's going to tick all the boxes that you need for a 65-point unit. So as with the previous video, we do like to do things sort of like pair them up, and these are the spawn here. You want to be able to make it sure so that with it 14 inches, if you go first, you can make it over to this objective, because then you are, let's say you're potentially scoring cleanse for 2 on the 2 objectives. You are getting secure no man's land. You put in things on their natural expansion, which they probably don't want, especially to someone on spawn. But there's no realistic way that you can sort of scout these 6 if the opponent's going first that isn't safe, other than just moving them. They're 6 inches up sort of here. They're not going to get shot down this angle, so we're fine with that. If they really overcommit and come down here and try and get an angle on them, it's just not going to be something that they're going to want to do. So these spawn, they do potentially have a heroic, because obviously they can't. These possibles can't be charged on this side. So if they did overcommit around here and try to charge them from this side, because they would have to end up sort of here, you can easily heroic with the spawn and dissuade any sort of charge going on there. Again, if that were to happen, you can if you heroic round, you'd be denying them area denial anyway. So yeah, from this position here, you can't quite move the 8 to do the cleanse. So if you do go second, you're going to be valuing the spawn more than just throwing it away as a potential shot from something down here or anything across the map. So these are an easy sort of drop for the spawn, and again the pair well with the potswalkers here. Next up, we've got the sort of our natural expansion objective, which isn't that protected. We obviously we can move out to it, and we've got some sort of protection down there, but it is a very open map in terms of those sort of angles that can be hit. So I tend to place these spawns sort of around here. This does mean that I can with the 6 inches get right up against this wall, because there's no way I'm going to be charged from that sort of distance, and it means I can move out on my next turn afterwards and potentially do something on here. Yeah, it gives me the freedom to move out there. But if I were to go first, I can just move the 6 inches straight out there, and I can try and keep these spawn safe from shooting. You can really minimize the angles, but realistically, if the opponent wants to overcommit to be able to shoot these off here, or potentially charge something this way, because if you're staying an inch out there, these spawn are definitely going to be shootable from these sort of angles. So pick your poison with there. If you're against a shooting army, maybe go up against the wall. If you're against Tau, they're not going to do anything with the charger. But if you're against world eaters or anything like that, you might value having the 1 inch away from the wall to make them come around and then potentially punish them from your shooting elsewhere. But yeah, the spawn are useful in this map, maybe not as much as round 1. But again, the aim of the game here is to break their sort of mid staging and force them to bring things out so that you can trade up and then hit them hard when you can do your drop turn and your go turn. Same as last time, the Tallyman I tend to keep on his own on this map. He can go here. If you're going to give him some sort of support so that they're not just going to run straight past you, him being sort of 1 inch in this wall, or being able to be sabotaged by just him standing on there if you need to. Again, it's screening the 9 inch sort of round here, so it's going to stop things going on. He is an easy assassination target with him being on his own and a kill on the kill more. But if they're going to be coming all the way down here, they're going to be committing a lot of resources to come down here. And again, we sort of pair in the heavy blight launcher drone. It can get good angles by being sort of down here and shooting anything that's going to come to contest this objective. Also, it's got the range to be able to shoot anything on the mid objective here. So you can use this drone to sort of threaten and protect the Tallyman down here. And I do like that it can just sort of pop out here and go, anything that you've got on this sort of line here, I'll be able to shoot turn 1 if you're not careful. So you don't tend to see a lot of stuff out in the open here for the same reason that we've not really put anything down here. Most people tend to have their stuff deployed safely in here and then away from the angles of things. So you're looking at sort of this sort of deployment. Obviously, if they've got any infiltrates or anything like that, you might have to slightly adjust. But the Taliban being here and them going first means that these spawn just end up sort of covering the wall here, and they're not going to be able to get into the to the Taliban. So this sort of like little setup here, I like as the action. And then moving to the last unit pots because I say you're not going to want to give anything away freely. So generally these are going to be screening the backfield for you, depending on if the opponent has any deep strike or anything like that, and just don't give them any free shots onto them for no reason. So yeah, this is not as suited for the sort of paired thing as round one. Obviously, these guys can dominate the midfield while you first start and set yourself up for a nice turn two push. But yeah, let's take a look at the rest of the unit. One cheeky little thing that I do like with the Land Raider, there's a couple of positions that I do tend to put this massive model in. It depends what the opponent's makeup is. If they've got enough shooting power to be able to take down the Land Raider, obviously I'm going to leave it in the open because here it's visible. Here they can just stack a few things up there and then poke a few things around here. But if you're playing against something that you just don't have to respect the shooting, you can put this here, and then if you go first, you can actually, with a 10-inch move, just about get it so that this is touching the objective. So one of the big bonuses of the Land Raider is it's OC5, so they have to really commit to be able to put something on there. So obviously scouts are only OC5 themselves with the 5 models or everything like that, and you can even then sort of disembark the whatever you've got inside. I tend to be the Black Lords inside or something like that, so they can disembark within the 3. I've got a lot of OC on this point then, and I've threatened what they might have considered to be sort of a safe target. I'm also threatening if they do bring anything down here, they're a charge target of these guys. So it's something you can do. It is risking it going first. If they do have some sort of decent shooting, you do have smoke to potentially pop as a defensive. But yeah, it's something you can do as a bit more of a safe deployment. I'll probably just put the Land Raider sort of here, and then if you go, depending on how aggressive you want to be, those spawn probably move out, and then you'll just move the Land Raider up a little bit, knowing that the turn afterwards you can move your 10 and you disembark and you're hitting hard anything behind this super rune as we've been mentioning. And if this is, say, got its OC5 down here, you can shoot everything in all sorts of directions. It's going to become a problem for the opponent just because of it's in the middle of the board and it's got angles on everything. And then at that point, you want to protect it with as many things as you can, so it's not just going to get charged upon or whatever it is. So yeah, that's how I'd use the Land Raider on this map. Finally, this is how I'd probably roughly set up going into round 2. Again, as mentioned last time, the threat of Purge the Foe primary really sort of hinders any sort of advanced placements that you would want to put your units in. Depending on the opponent, again, I would either put the Plague Marines in the Land Raider to start and have the Black Lords as a drop target with the Death Shroud as well. So again, probably have the Lord of Virulence with the Black Lords and the Contagion with the Death Shroud, Typhus as a free roamer, and then the Lord of Boxers with the 5-man. These guys could threaten up here with the Tallyman, because they can just sit in this position that the spawn would end up being after they moved, obviously, and then you've just got a sort of a if they go in there and then you move them, they're 5, you've got a nice charge onto whatever is contesting your objective, and this unit does punch up quite well. As mentioned with the quick 5s or whatever it is, it really does end up stacking up the damage with the damage too. And then yeah, you'd probably use the Blight Hauler as a big, if they put something in the middle as a big threat. Stays the Land Raider, get the spawn down here so you can potentially drop the Death Shroud down here, and then see where the game goes. But Purge is obviously about managing their ability to kill your units while you kill more. So you want to try and retain your home. Obviously, don't give away that for free, and it holds your natural expansion. And there's going to be a big brawl over the middle, and if you can keep on pressuring their natural expansion so that they don't score a whole more ever, and you can chip away at the kill mores, then I think you'll come away with a win. I think that's it for round 2. So there's not a lot you can do in terms of tricky deployments on this one just because of the mission. But if you do have any tips that I've missed out on this specifically, then give me a shout in the comments, and please do like and subscribe. And we'll be back for round 3. And also with round 4, which I mentioned is the same layout, and there are some neat little tricks you can do with the poxwalkers on there.